prosperity, and welfare of this country, and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our church. Amen.
Communication from the Chair.
Honorable members, I welcome you all to the second extraordinary session of the National Assembly in the 2024 legislative year. Equally, may I welcome the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, here present, to table his business before the Assembly. Honorable members, this sitting is summoned pursuant to Section 98(1)(a)(1) of the 1997 Constitution. The President of the Republic has signed a letter requesting the office of the Speaker to summon a sitting of the National Assembly to consider important and urgent matters of state. Thus, the reason for convening this extraordinary session today, Saturday, 19th October 2024. Accordingly, the important urgent businesses to be transacted for this session as per order paper as agreed by the ABC. Honorable members, in a similar vein, I wish to formally inform this August Assembly that the National Assembly Authority received a notice on the 5th of December 2023 indicating that the current Clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Momodu A. Sise, will be due for statutory retirement on the 19th of December 2024. Given that the retirement date was a year away at the time, the authority took note of the notification and agreed to defer further discussions until a more appropriate time. Accordingly, on the 12th of September 2024, the authority convened to address this important issue. It was resolved during this meeting that a formal communication be made to the plenary, notifying honorable members of the clerk's impending retirement. It is in accordance with this decision that I now officially inform this August Assembly of Mr. Sise's forthcoming retirement on the 19th of December 2024. Furthermore, the authority has acted responsibly to identify a suitable successor for the clerk. Following extensive deliberations, a nominee from within the National Assembly service has been selected. Consequently, the Honorable Majority Leader, as a member of the authority, will later table the motion for the appointment of a new clerk for consideration and approval, in consideration with Section 94 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997. On this occasion, I would like to take the opportunity on behalf of both sides of the National Assembly to extend our heartfelt best wishes to Mr. Momodou A. Sise as he approaches his 60th birthday. We express our profound gratitude for his distinguished and dedicated service to this institution and to the nation, having devoted more than half of his life to public service. A fitting tribute, honorable members, will be given to him during the forthcoming fourth ordinary session. On that note, honorable members, let me once again thank you for coming to attend the second extraordinary session despite the short notice. I thank you all. Clerk, you may proceed.
Correction and approval of records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 26 September 2024.
Honorable members, the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 26 September 2024 is before us for correction and approval. Can any honorable member please move that the said record of votes and proceedings be considered and approved? Any honorable member? Honorable member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move that the records of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 26 September 2024 be corrected and approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal. Any secondary honorable members? Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 26 September 2024 be considered and approved. Honorable members, we all have copies of the said record of votes and proceedings, and as usual, we will look through it page by page for corrections, beginning with page 1. Honorable members, anybody who has any comments on page 1 may do so. Honorable members, you have something? Pardon? I'm not hearing. I'm sorry, I was just consulting on some other issues on the same issue. All right, on page 2 now. Page 2. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Having two things that following members were absent with permission, and on page 2 also following members were absent with permission. On page 1, you have the following members were absent with permission. On page 2 again, list continues that the following members were absent. Is it without or with permission again? You put with permission. Why don't you maintain them on the same page if they are? Yes. No, the following members were absent. The last page, I mean, the second one is without. Page 2. Yes. Yes. And if you go to page 3 again, it continues. The following members were absent with permission again. Or is it without permission? Without. Okay, okay.
According to the table office, that one's those without, absent without permission. It should be without. The two, 57 and 58. Thank you very much. Now we are on page 3. Any comments on page 3? Hey. What? You know, honorable members, is Honorable Barry around? Where is Honorable Barry? Ma'am? He stepped out. Yeah, I was just trying to reconcile because I can remember there was a time he called me and then he was traveling to, I don't know whether, was it Dakar or somewhere? He was supposed to travel there, and I told him he can go. I don't know whether that is the same thing. That's what I want to confirm from him. And he's outside. Anyway, we continue.
Sorry, Speaker.
Speaker, on page 3.
Page 3. Yeah.
Yes, I was not here, but I called the Deputy Speaker. I took permission from him. On page 3. Dauda Jen, Nyamina East.
You said you took permission from?
Deputy Speaker.
But Deputy Speaker is around.
Honorable Speaker.
Deputy Speaker?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, he's right. I granted him permission.
Pardon?
I granted him permission, yes, he's right.
What we can probably do is 57 and 58, we just put them under those absent with permission. Pardon? We now move to page 4. Yes, Honorable Member for Wool East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First line on page 4, first, the Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Standing Orders 881. So we just remove S on the orders and say Standing Order 81. And in the second line, You've seen it? And on the second line where it says, stated that having gone through the Hansard report, it could not be established anywhere. I suggest that we put that, the honorable member for Fonyi Bintan Karanai, then it continues. We put that, the word that after anywhere.
Honorable members, first line, standing orders. You just mentioned one this thing, so remove the S. And then the second line, established anywhere, that the honorable member for Fonyi Bintang. Huh? You put the word that. Thank you, honorable member for Woodley East. Any more on page 4? All right, honorable members, we move to page 5. Page 5. Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Page 5, it seems like motion without notice, order 53E, where you mention Honorable Suaibu Ture, member for Woodley, it should be Woodley East rather, right? Yes, Woodley East, add the East there. Move a motion that the bill entitled National Population Bill 2024 be committed to the Joint Committee of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. The name of the Gender Committee is well spelled, but health, you just put health and stop there. Then that's not the correct nomenclature for the health. You have health, disaster, refugees, and humanitarian relief. Thank you. You have to put everything.
Can you go on? Health. Honorable member, can you give us the full name of your committee?
Okay, Bismillah. Health, disaster, humanitarian relief, and refugees. Thank you.
Disaster,
humanitarian relief, and refugees. Of course, you have to put it. Then you have to use the other one.
It's noted. It's noted. Any more on page 5? We move to page 6. Member for Woodley East.
Yes, thank you. Just a simple one where you put questions, put and agreed to at the top. It's just one question. We remove the S to make it question put.
Honorable members, it's only one question, so the S goes out. Any order more on page 5, page 6 rather? We can now move to page 7. Page 7. Page 7. No comments. Saturday. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 26 September 2024 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, before I invite the clerk, we have on the agenda 2 motions. And usually these motions are timelined. But if you look at your order paper, that time frame is not there. Have you seen it? Now, that was what I was discussing with the table office. Now, do we make a determination? Do we continue as usual on the time frame of 1 hour, because that's what is in our standing order, 61-2, that the motions take that time frame? Or, honorable members, let me hear from you, honorable members. Minority leader and member for...
Honorable Speaker, as it stands, that's the position of the Assembly Business Committee. That is to say, the Assembly Business Committee is silent on time frame. So we leave as it is. And then...
Honorable, I think you are going to misquote the Assembly Business Committee. Yes, yeah.
Honorable, yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Yes, it's clear that the ABC committee probably might even be an oversight, but not to conclude that they are silent about it. However, we can time ourselves once we agree to convince each other. And the normal practice that 1 hour be allocated to every business, but we can be more gracious to say 2 hours be allocated so that at least each member have like 6 minutes instead of 3 minutes speaking time for the business. So I think 6 minutes per member, you'll be able to put across any points that you want to put. 1 hour? 1 hour? Okay, so Honorable Speaker,
please allow him land.
It's as if...
Honorable, I will shout your consequency or your name.
Honorable Speaker,
please.
It's as if the 2 hours is on the high side because I've been hearing a lot of murmuring. So we are going by the 1 hour proposals. Thank you.
Very clear. Please. Let's make something clear. By our own standing orders, these motions are 1 hour maximum. And the only time we discussed about that was one of our ABC meetings. And now we agreed that that be applied. From that time, unless we are doing otherwise, other than that, then that's the time is discussed. Now, this particular one, why I raised it, usually on the other paper, you will see the time factor there. This one, I have not seen it. That was why I was consulting with the... No, the decision, that was not the decision of the ABC. We had earlier discussed, this one can be an omission on the part of the table office in the preparation of their agenda, not the ABC. So I want us to get those things clear. Now, honorable member for Lower Salum. Yes, let me come around. I'll give you all chance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I think for this area, we should not debate on this one, because already, I think it might be an omission from the table office. Again, there was an emotions that all Assembly Business Committee, all motions and reports will be 1 hour. That was ruling that was made by the Speaker at the time. So it's all businesses. So I think it must be an omission. So I think we continue, because already there was a decision made on this issue.
This is very clear. It is not something of the ABC or anything. It's just that the table office, the usual thing they put in, that 1 hour thing, is what was omitted. But we cannot approve, because we discussed this earlier, and we agreed on it, and we agreed that, and that's the practice. But we should be notified on the other paper that this thing takes 1 hour. And it's not there, that's why I mentioned it. So I think we just go by the same. Somebody is calling. Yes, Honorable.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Speaker, normally when agendas are out, it goes out with the hours that we should spend. So this time when the hours is not there, nothing is not there, it's left to the whole House now to decide. It's left to the whole House.
Honorable Speaker.
I don't think that can hold water. That is an omission. It's an omission. Human error. You have to put a dot, you did not put a dot, just like this one we are correcting now. You cannot hold on to that and say that's what should happen.
Honorable
I think we call honorable members. I think we proceed.
Honorable Speaker.
Clerk.
Honorable Speaker.
Clerk, can we proceed, please?
Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Who is shouting?
Kia West.
Kia West.
Yes.
Kia West, say something different?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, this omission is not as simple as a comma or a dot. This is an omission of a time that we should spend to discuss these substantial matters before us. And I want to ask if that decision that has earlier been taken by the ABC is going to continue throughout this parliamentary term. We need to ascertain something else.
Honorable, I don't think you are following us.
Or throughout our parliamentary term.
Yes, Honorable, you are not following. What I said...
I am.
Honorable, please, take your seat. What I said and what the member for Lower Salem said is very clear. This had been discussed, and it is in our own standing orders. And that we have done it here to agree that it will... all the other ones that we have been dealing with hour on hour, we never mentioned it. You just see it in your order paper. That's all. So we had not been discussing this. This one, the other paper never indicated. That's why I raised it, for members to know that it's the same 1 hour or otherwise. So that one, your question is not relevant because this has been agreed on, and that's what we have been doing.
Of course it is.
So please.
It may not be to you, but it is indeed.
Pardon?
I say it may not be relevant, you know, on someone's view like you, but it is indeed.
Motion. Motion. Pursuant to Section 79 of the Constitution, be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and ratify the Memorandum of Understanding on Circular Migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of the Gambia by the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry and Regional Integration and Employment.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, may I now invite the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment to table his motion. Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the National Assembly, I beg to move that the Memorandum of Understanding on Circular Migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of the Gambia is herein presented to this August Assembly for ratification. The MOU seeks to provide a legal pathway for Gambians wishing to seek seasonal employment in the Kingdom of Spain, which is in line with government's objective of creating employment opportunities for Gambians within and outside the country to reduce unemployment and underemployment. Honorable Speaker, Spain is one of the favorite destinations for many Gambians traveling to Europe seeking greener pastures. During the recent past, many Gambians have embarked on the risky and perilous journey to get to Europe, and many more remain willing and ready to do so despite the existential dangers associated with such journeys. In view of the reality, in addition to the long-standing cordial relations between the Kingdom of Spain and the Gambia, the two states recognize the need for closer collaboration in the field of manpower management to promote mutual interest and benefits. In the spirit of strengthening the friendly relations between the two nations and the need to address migration issues of common interest and concern, it was proposed that we sign a Memorandum of Understanding on Circular Migration, starting with a pilot project to recruit workers from the Gambia to work in Spain for a period of 1 year. The MOU aims to promote recruitment of manpower in a manner that realizes the interests of both countries. The framework agreement is for an initial period of 1 year, but it may be extended for a period considered appropriate by the signatories if an appraisal of the first year shows that both sides are willing to have an extension. However, the MOU is not legally binding and therefore shall not give rise to obligations to either party under any international law. Workers recruited under this MOU will be issued employment contracts with clearly specified contract durations which compel them to sign up before departing. A 4-year temporary permit shall be issued to successful candidates for this purpose and will be tied to the employment contract. Workers recruited will be required to make formal undertakings to return to their country of origin, which is the Gambia, upon termination or expiry of employment contracts under the agreement. Honorable Speaker, the MOU will pave a pathway for Gambians to work in the Kingdom of Spain as one of the favorite destinations for many of our young people seeking employment abroad. This framework will provide opportunities for those young people or young Gambians to legally travel and work in the Kingdom in a manner that addresses the pervasive phenomenon of illegal migration, which is of interest to both countries. This will further help in our collective efforts to combat this menace of irregular migration and mitigate its negative impact. The MOU will also complement government's efforts in creating more employment opportunities for our people, particularly the young who are the future of this country. Therefore, the successful implementation of this MOU will contribute to the attainment of the 150,000 jobs target of the National Employment Policy and Action Plan 2022-2026, among other strategies the Ministry has developed. In addition, there is no financial obligation or implications on the part of Government of the Gambia in the implementation of this MOU, as the Kingdom's authorities have expressed their desire to fully fund all activities involved in the recruitment process. Implementation of the MOU, Ministry of Trade, Honorable Speaker, Regional Integration and Employment of the Gambia, and the Ministry of Inclusion, Social Security and Migration of the Kingdom of Spain will coordinate the implementation of the MOU through their respective departments or units and in collaboration with their respective ministries of foreign affairs and embassies. The recruitment of workers will be done through registered and licensed private recruitment agencies under the supervision of the Department of Labor's Employment Management Services Unit. As part of the implementation of the MOU, We shall leverage the expertise in the multi-stakeholder technical committee established for monitoring the implementation of bilateral labor agreements with Saudi Arabia and other territories. The technical committee will be responsible for the monitoring of the implementation of this MOU as well. The committee comprises government institutions, private sector players, CSOs, and private recruitment agencies. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I urge the honorable members of this August Assembly to consider and ratify this MOU on circular migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the government of the Gambia as it promotes the mutual benefits of the two countries. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Trade, Regional Integration and Employment. Honorable members, any seconder? Honorable Member for Kantora and Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And first of all, allow me this opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister and the Governor of the day for bringing this important agreement between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of the Gambia. Honorable Speaker is very apt, and this is what we are yearning for as a country. It is a common knowledge that our youths are really dying every day on this irregular migration. So this is an opportunity for them to desist from such. And being a pilot project, we have to put concerted efforts together to make sure that this labor migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Gambia is materialized. And this will also go a long way in terms of getting the requisite skill on the job training of our youths. And even after these 4 years, when they come back, they can find themselves befitting and also useful to the society. Honorable Speaker, this also, when approved, will also close the gap of unemployment rates in our country. And of course, we want to urge any beneficiary to be good ambassadors of the country, and also make sure that you don't foul any law of the recipient state. Make sure you raise the flag of the nation high, not to engage yourself in any illicit or any illegal engagement other than what really take you there. Honorable Speaker, it's also gratifying and worth mentioning that after 4 years, you have the opportunity to be given resident permit, that you can stay there legally. So we must make sure that we embrace this as a nation. This is a history in the making, and we must stand as a nation to make sure that we support this agreement. And now I call on all members of Parliament, particularly both of the Assembly, not to really waste more time on this, rather than to give their blessing to this important agreement. And of course, there are a lot of progressive provisions that are also indicated that it's no cost to government. And this will also go a long way as far as foreign relations is concerned in smoothing the bilateral ties between the Gambia and Spain. If you go time immemorial, Spain has been a very good destination for our people, particularly the region I come from, URR, and of course, my tribe as Sarakule community. We have a lot of good presence in Spain, and if this is materialized, like I said, it does not only reduce the burden on employment of our youths, but particularly to discourage illegal migration. Now they have a hope. This is a renewed hope that you can really go to the West through more legal means that also preserve you as a worker, that has your dignity preserved, that also will elevate your status as a human being. So we want to salute the government for this initiative and thank them for the bilateral ties that yielded to this progress. So, Honorable Speaker, on that few notes, I want to really throw my weight behind it to second, and as well as to call all honorable members to support the agreement. On that note, thank you so much, and I beg to take my seat.
Thank you very much, Honorable member for Controller and Majority Leader. Honorable members, I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the Memorandum of Understanding on Circular Migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of the Gambia. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Now I will open the floor for any honorable member who may wish to take part in the debate. Honorable members, it used to be 3 minutes. We now just said we will give members 4 minutes so that you are able to say all what you want to say. Beginning with the member for Woodley East.
Okay, Operator. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think I would concur with the seconder of this motion that this agreement is a triple win proposal. Because, Honorable Speaker, the employee or the migrant will benefit, the Gambia will benefit, and Spain will also benefit. So both sides will benefit in this thing. Honorable Speaker, the Gambian worker will benefit more because he will look for higher wages, receive higher income, and will also acquire skills that the majority leader mentioned, which he or she can replicate in his own country by training Gambians to also acquire the same. Honorable Speaker, I am very concerned about the issue of remittances because many Gambians are outside and they are sending millions or if not billions to the Gambia. How are we managing those remittances? It's a concern which we need to look at because many countries are making very good use of remittances by helping the migrants themselves to organize themselves better, to invest the money so that even when they come to settle, they'll be able to settle nicely in their home without much struggle. Honorable Speaker, Spain will benefit because Spain needs workers. And therefore, that labor gap will be filled by people from outside, especially in the Gambia, who are going through this particular district. So their shortage of labor will be minimized. Honorable Speaker, irregular migration is a big concern for this country. Many people are dying in the sea, and we have no control. And this proposal, like other proposals we have looked at before in relation to Saudi Arabia and Qatar, I don't know, will help us all the more so that this dying in the sea will be minimized or will be curbed. Honorable Speaker, I believe that we need to really look at migration and development. We must use migration as a tool to develop this country. Because as I said, the psychology in the Gambian children's head is to leave this country to go outside. There are many reasons, multiple reasons. Maybe we've not studied it, but there are hundreds of reasons why they want to leave this place. You can see that when you tell them to clean the street in the Gambia, they will not want to do that work. But when they go to Spain, they will do anything to get money to come back. Just like when other migrants come to the Gambia, they will do many things. You remember Daddy Gama? That used to clean the toilets in Gambia. They are not Gambians. But when Gambians go outside, they do similar things. So we need to really look at how do we use migration to help us to develop. Because I could remember Philippines. Philippines is a migrating country. They send millions of people to go outside to work, but they also use the remittances and other income that they bring to develop, to invest in their country, to really gain. So, Honorable Speaker, I'm also concerned about the brain drain that we may experience in this type. 2 minutes. Thank you. So I'm concerned about circulation of professionals. Circulation of professionals. We must be able to do that. While they get skills, we also circulate them between here and Spain to be able to benefit from the knowledge that they are gaining instead of only Spain benefiting.
All right, Honorable. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Member for Woole East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for coming up with this motion, which is to ratify the Memorandum of Understanding on circular migration between the Kingdom of Spain and Gambia. Honorable Speaker, we all know that migration is an issue in Africa, especially Gambia. As previous speakers put it, these past 3 years, we lost most of our youth simply because they want to go to this pathway syndrome in order to look for greener pasture. Honorable Speaker, the purpose of this memorandum is to address migration issues. Migration issues concern implementing pilot projects to select Gambian workers their point of origin. Honorable Speaker, when we look at the motion, we are told that before they come up this, they're going to do sublisting of those workers. And Honorable Speaker, that's where sometimes foul play will come up. That's where foul play will come up. So, the people who made that requirement to go, those ministries that are responsible, should do it correctly. Because in the report it is said it is free of charge. And the moment it is started, Honorable Speaker, you see some people will tell you, yes, if you want, I can give you, you bring this, I give it to you so that you can do the, I can put you on the registration. So let people be careful of that. There should be more sensitization with regard to the sublisting. Hence, there it is indicated that it's free of charge. So people must know about this. People must know before they go and pay certain amount. Honorable Speaker, other than that, what I want to ask, Honorable Minister, is it possible, because it is indicated in the agreement that after your termination, you have to, aware the ambassador there, or to see that, yes, your time is terminated. Is it possible now for somebody to be there working and also he is furthering his education? Is that possible? Or after his termination, can he apply again a visa to go back to Spain again? Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sami. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang East.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And thank you, Honorable Minister, for bringing this motion to the Assembly. Well, most of the points I have wanted to discuss have already been discussed by the previous two speakers. However, I would like to add that this motion is a very good one because the migrant is going to benefit the migrants' family back home is going to benefit, and both the source region or source country and destination of the migrants are all going to benefit. Of course, we know that the Gambia is struggling with unemployment issues. A lot of our school leavers are languishing in the streets without being able to get any jobs. In fact, this is one of the reasons why our youths are risking the desert and the Mediterranean to Europe in search of greener pastures. And in the process, we have lost a good number, and we continue to lose a good number of our youths, which has negative effects not only on the economy, but on the social and family life of the Gambia. So this has partly come to address that issue. I am particularly concerned about the North African corridor, Mauritania, Morocco, Tunisia, all those areas where we have a large presence of our Gambian youths who cross the Mediterranean into Europe. The embassies in those areas are struggling really. And I think when we legalize migration through this agreement, it is going to help us a lot. So, Honorable Speaker, I have only one issue, which I want the Minister to take note of. That is the recruitment process. How do you intend to recruit these people? And I hope it is going to be based on merit rather than anything else. Well, anyway, don't worry. I think it is going to be based on merit rather than anything else. The recruitment procedure should not allow any form of corruption by the officers that are going to be responsible. It shouldn't be politicized. Honorable Speaker, thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kiang East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Joshua constituency.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I join my colleagues to thank the Minister for bringing this motion today, and then also be part of people who are also in line to welcome it and also support it. Honorable Speaker, I think this is timely, and then currently we know the situation of our youths who are using the illegal way going to Europe every day. When 10 are in, 20 are missing. Will that continue? And how can we stop this? So coming up with this memorandum will be very, very helpful, Honorable Speaker. There's a reason why they always say we want to go and use the back way, because we have difficulties to access visas. We don't have access to move, so we need to use the long way. So if these things comes on board, I think it's going to be very, very helpful to those people who will be going there in the right way than using the wrong way. Honorable Speaker, I also ask the Minister to be very careful, and those responsible also to be very careful. It is a process. It is a project that is there, if possible, for good. But how can we maintain it is very key. We all know we are Gambians, but we take things for granted. Those going to be well screened, and so they understand that they are going for a purpose. They are not going only there to stay. If you are going to walk, go and walk. That's very clear. Let them be well screened, prepared to know that they are going, and also open the space for another person. Just like a race, you are given a button. If you are given the button, go and do the good thing that you are expecting from you, and hand over the button to another person. But if you go and you stop there, it's no advantage to the country. And the purpose why this agreement is being signed is to reduce the loss that we are having in the rivers, the loss that we are having in the sea. How can we reduce this? When this agreement comes on board, please, Honorable Speaker, I'm going to the Honorable Minister, the people who are responsible, let them do the proper screening, and then also send the right people. If it is about skill, let them be well trained on skill. If you are going there to also acquire skill, let them come back home and do it in this country, so others can also follow suit. So definitely we support, and we definitely support the idea, and then, I mean, I'm among the people who will definitely be willing to support the idea, but my only concern is those who are going should be well screened. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Joshua. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyamine Dankunku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Let me also thank the Minister of Trade and the Minister of Fisheries who are present in this August Assembly. Honorable Speaker, on the 27th June 2024, His Excellency the President addressed this August Assembly. And during his deliberation under the Ministry of Trade, paragraph 14, 15, and 16, actually the President and the government are acting under those policies. Honorable Speaker, paragraph 14, if you could allow me to read abroad. 16, these efforts are aimed at building our trade capacity, improving labor market conditions, and supporting the nation's economic growth. They will also contribute toward realizing our target of creating 150,000 jobs opportunity over a 5-year period. Honorable Speaker, meaning this statement, when the President made this statement in this August Assembly, he had fully prepared in advance. Today, that's what we are ratifying. We have ratifying 2 agreements. Now we are ratifying the 3rd agreement, meaning that the creation of 150,000 jobs could not be achieved only locally, but internationally. Honorable Minister, I thank you for the motion. Honorable Speaker, on the article, on the other article, the agreement itself, I am very concerned on bullet point number 1. That is, if you allow me to read, mindful of reciprocal advantage of all cooperation and in order to strengthen the friendly relationship between their 2 nations, as well as to build on the collaboration between the competent authorities, it is proposed that a pilot, which I underline, a pilot project be launched to select Gambian workers at their point of origin. Honorable Speaker, this article is very important because it is a pilot project, meaning those who are selected from the beginning at the first time, if they go, let them not spoil the opportunity of others. Because if you send them there, they might already have some of their relatives in Spain and find a way to sneak and refuse to come back. The project will stop immediately. And then I think we should all advocate for that. Anybody who is selected, after your contract term, come back, give another one an opportunity. Because this opportunity is not only created for one person, it is created for over 150,000 youth in this country. Therefore, we are the National Assembly members representing almost the entire nation. Each of us represents a constituency. Wherever the individual is selected, please let us advise.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku. Well said. I now invite honorable members, the Honorable Member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would also join my honorable colleagues who spoke before me to thank the Honorable Minister for Trade and also thank the government of the Gambia under His Excellency President Adama Barrow for coming up with this laudable decision. Honorable Speaker, today we are meeting to consider and ratify the Memorandum of Understanding on Circular Migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of the Gambia. In that direction, Honorable Speaker, it will be very, very important for all honorable members to take note that the member for Nyamina Dankunku have just concluded saying this is a pilot project. It is a pilot project where if those chosen to venture into this humble journey to Spain to do justice with those of us who are left behind and not yet given the opportunity to go. Honorable Speaker, it will be very, very important and prudent for the Ministry of Trade and Labour Department to be very vigilant during the process of sending these migrant workers to Spain. The member for Nyamina Dankungu have mentioned it, that if you are chosen and you go in Spain and never want to come back or never come back, you are spoiling the opportunities of all the hundreds of youths who in the Gambia who are also supposed to or were even qualified to benefit from this gesture. In that regard, Honorable Speaker, I'm urging all honorable members to be very vigilant too, because we all represent constituencies. In each constituency where you have this agreement, please let's put our eye on those people and in fact advocate for their coming back. Senegal has been tested on this agreement or MOU and they could never make it. Those citizens of Senegal who were sent to Spain on this MOU with Spain never came back. And this is why this time around Spain is giving them back. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I'm urging my honorable members of Parliament for this agreement to continue. Let the first batch go and come back, and another second batch go and come back, so that this can be a reciprocal. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I take to back my seat.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara Central. And I invite the Honorable Member for Lower Salum.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. May I also join my colleagues to...
Speaker, are you calling it in order or?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. May I also join my colleagues to thank the Minister. Honorable Speaker, this is what we expect from the Minister. I think if the senior man speak, we should just come and wrap up things and go. We have to speak everything. Honorable Speaker, yes, since 2017 I'm here. But what we have seen by the Minister of Trade it should be laudable, Honorable Speaker. This is the third agreement that we have ratified in this Parliament. This is what we expect from each ministries. the Parliament normally give a budget line for travel. If you go, you bring something. And this minister is bringing something for us. And Honorable Speaker, I just want to, my own brother, member for Janjambure, yes, and the 100,000 jobs, 150,000 jobs, that was your fare. I think the minister is in line. Because it's your concern, and you are a brother. And Honorable Speaker, migration is everybody's business, Honorable Speaker. And this, it came to remedy illegal migration. And again, I'm the Vice Chairman of Foreign Affairs. And I have a good experience on certain things in Germany. It will not stop only in Spain. I know the minister is in progress, knocking on other countries to do the same. But one thing, Honorable Speaker, there must be a condition attached to this, where other countries, what has happened, because it will recycle. We want each of our citizens to know Europe is not the place of your destiny. Europe is not a place of making monies. If they went and make experience, they will come back and build our own nations. I must agree by the member of Woolly. Honorable Speaker, whoever is going, there is be strong conditions, each of these people, that you are going, if you don't come back, this and that will happen to you. Or the family. Then that will make sure this thing, it will continue. Because we don't want our young ones to be staying down there. We want them to come back with their experience and build this nation. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I must thank the Honorable Minister and his colleague. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Salum. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I would like to thank the Honorable Minister of Trade for bringing this memorandum of understanding with the Gambia and Spain. Honorable Speaker, I welcome this kind of idea and the way the Ministry of Trade is trying in this country. I fully remember that we have almost signed 3 agreements with Gambia and Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, and also today is Spain. Migration is something that is really affecting both African countries, not only the Gambia, but the whole Africa. The reason why youths are trying for this migration is simply because of poverty. So if the government comes with this idea, I definitely welcome the idea, and I would like to bless these kind of ideas. But Honorable Speaker, I have one question which I want to ask, the mode of selection. What criteria are those youths going to get before they select them? This is what I want to know. And secondly, being a youth who have ever been a beneficiary of such kind of job, I was once nominated to represent the Gambia in Benin to learn different kind of skills. And these people are going there for work. When I came back, and my colleagues, there was no other job, or there was no plan for the government to put us together to work in our country. So I don't know what plan does your government have for these youths after going out and work for 1 year, and when they come back, what are they going to do? Because we don't wish them to go outside and work for 1 year, and they come back. After coming back, the government don't have any plan to gather them together, to help them to do something else. the government, I wish the government to reintegrate for those youths after working for at least 1 year after when they come back. Honorable Speaker, and one thing I want us to discuss about or to consider is that taking our youths outside the Gambia to work, signing this kind of memorandum of understanding, honestly, is something very good. But we need to think as a country whether this kind of agreement is going to last long. What plan are we going to put in place to secure jobs for the youths of this country? A permanent job for the youth, not temporal jobs like this of 1 year and they come back to stay in the country. Honorable Speaker, I judge things, I always take things upon me myself. Coming from a poor family, I don't have anything. You nominate me to go outside the European country that I've been lobbying to go there for a long time. And when I arrive there, I don't know whether I will agree to come back, and after coming back, I will not know that whether if I come back, there will be a job for me in this country. You people need to consider and scrutinize these people properly, whether they will stay there or they will switch and go to another country. This is what I definitely want the government to be properly careful on that. Because certain youths will go and they will never wish to come back. Because of what is in this country. People always say that Africa people are suffering. We don't have many things. We don't have things. We are still poor. And you select our youth to go there. If they go, I don't think they will try to come back. Honorable Speaker, we have a vast land in this country. People are working. There are.
Thank you very much, Honorable. 30. I now invite the Honorable Member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We thank the mover of the motion, that is the Minister for Trade, for tabling this important document before members. Honorable Speaker, the Minister, as he indicates during his statement, did state that the government is working towards fulfilling the promise that they have made to Gambian people, that is to create job opportunities for our youths, so that every youth in this country will find themselves in a meaningful working environment. In light of that, the minister has been tabling various agreements, like we have ratified 2 already, and this is the 3rd one. We will commend the minister for that. But what we will also say, the minister is a very good negotiator because he's into negotiating all these agreements and tabling it before the Parliament. Next, we are telling the minister so that he can also lobby for the establishment of factories that our youth will stay and gainfully employed within the country. Because, Honorable Minister, sending our youths outside this country also have negative impact on our population growth. We all know that the youths that will be recruited to represent us are the workforce for the country. So we should also try and lobby for the establishment of companies within the Gambia that will gainfully employ these youths. I have gone through this memorandum of understanding between Gambia and that of the Spain government. One thing that stands out is that if you look at the last paragraph of this agreement, pursuant to Section 2C of the Act, 25 to 2014 of the Kingdom of Spain of 27 November on treaties and other international agreements. This memorandum of understanding shall not give rise to international obligation, nor it is governed by international law, as its legal status is that of an international non-binding agreement. Honorable Speaker, if you carefully look at this provision here, and considering the fact that Gambia is a party to international organization as far as, and also ratify conventions and protocols on international conventions on the protocols of right of all migrants. This provision here is trying to deprive our brothers who will be working at that place
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Busumbala. I now invite...
Speaker, before you come, are you cognizant of the 1 hour time before we go out of it?
Honorable, I am managing. Please. Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Busumbala. I now invite the Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to join my colleagues in commending the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, and of course the Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad for acting in accordance with their constitutional mandate and also as per responsibilities vested in them by His Excellency the President. This is another evidence of the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow and his government in creating employment and employability for young people of this country. It is not a denying fact that no government can employ her entire citizen within and outside. Therefore, the creation of factories, the creation of employment nationally will not absorb each and every citizen that needs employment in this country. And these agreements the government entered into between the Gambia and Saudi, UAE, and this instant, the Kingdom of Spain, will not only cater for literate or skilled, but it is for both skilled and unskilled workers, meaning that the demand of employment by Gambians, irrespective of your educational level and your skill, you have been addressed and catered for. This is very timely and important. And that is why the government, through the President, thought it wise. When I went through the agreement, Honorable Speaker, I realized that as per the agreement, it come into force immediately the day it was signed. Therefore, we are 1 month, some days plus behind, and we could not have waited up to December to attend to this important agreement. We would have missed the deadline of them possibly attaining this year's seasonal job, and it may therefore means that this agreement may as good as nothing. Therefore, Honorable Minister, you and your government, we want to thank you. And this is in line with government policy of creating employment for young people in the Gambia and outside. We hope that mechanism will be in place to ensure that Gambia will not miss this opportunity. Once we enter into force of this agreement, more of this will come in terms of Spain. Therefore, control. I assume that once they are recruited and left for Spain, they will be probably confined within their areas of employment. For example, if it is because it's a seasonal job, if in the farm, they will be accommodated within the area of their employment to help security and maintain them in there, so that at the end of the expiry of their contract, they'll be able to come back and also to go back again. And we will be able to have more people, more opening up, because it should be the responsibility of each member of parliament and each government employee and those agents who will be licensed to make sure that these people and this opportunity is made best use of. We must not abuse it. Once they are there, we must ensure that they abide by the requirement, the legal requirement in Spain and also in the Gambia, so that this opportunity, government created it for everybody, is not to be abused. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the government and the president.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Minister of Trade for ably laying this important agreement within the Kingdom of Spain and that of the Gambia. Honorable Speaker, I want to be straightforward. Honorable Speaker, to the Honorable Minister of Trade, we have seen overnight. Now the ball is going and rolling. I don't know where it will also begin. Civil servants will be sent for studies. They quit and never come back. Politicians are sent for missions. They will never come back. We've seen that. And it's happening. It's clear all over news. This is a very important agreement where our youths will be sent to the Kingdom of Spain for a period of 1 year, either a request for an extension or they will be sent back. I want to ask this question to the Minister of Trade. The economical contribution and remittances. How would the remittances sent back to the Gambia by the migrants being managed or utilized for national development? Is there any plans for the remittance being prepared for the development agenda of this country? And again, also, another question. Would there be any scheme to encourage investment and also entrepreneur among the migrants or people who are sent to Kingdom of Spain after 1 year or 2 years of their service? Would there be anything that the ministry will also develop? I want also to be guiding this. Honorable Speaker, the other thing that I want to make it clear to all of us as representative of the people, by the people and for the people, this migrant agreement is called the Kingdom of Spain and that of the Gambia. It doesn't say a constituency. It doesn't say a region. It doesn't also say a political party. We are raising, and we want to raise very high, that let's look for people, and let's include all constituencies, if possible. Every constituency we have scheme in which selection will be done for skillful youths. We don't want only to concentrate and say, okay, our concentration will only be in the Combos or in the provincial Gambia or in this area. Let's try to think outside the box. This is for everybody, about 2.6 million population of this country. Honorable Speaker, the other aspect also through the Minister of Trade, I think also we could think very well. The country is trying to have a surge, a wounded surge in terms of youth's participation. I can tell this example, even selections of securities to man in our country, they are facing a big lot of problems, especially the youths. More are women. So I think some of these agreements, let's also do another method where we could also initiate factories in the country so as to not to discourage, but to have a way in which we can balance. On that note, I think the agreement is in line, and we will support it, but we'll support it with caution. And any day we had either unjust or the selection that's not in line, we will voice out. and the voice will be the voice of the people. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I thank you for bringing this motion. I believe this motion is addressing the concern that I had when I posed parliamentary question last ordinary session regarding the number of Gambians that attempt or migrated to Europe through the irregular migration, and how many succeeded or perished along the route. That expressed my concern on the trend of the number of Gambians that are suffering or affected as a result of this irregular migration, and call for solution on the matter. This is the second time you've brought in motions, the first one, 2, and today 1, regarding migration. Yes, the people can migrate, but let it be secured and very formal. And that is exactly what you're trying to do. I had concern with the order to regarding when to sign the contract, the one to Saudi and EAU. The actual contract is signed upon arrival. It appears this one, the contract will be signed before departure. I believe that can be more reliable and more secure. Because these recruiting agents, their supervision and monitoring is something that should be firmly in place. If our young people supposed to go and then sign a contract, they would not know the nature and integrity of that contract. To me, that is not reliable. But if they are to sign it here, they ascertain this is going to be the condition and the nature of the work that they are going to do. That can be more reliable. In fact, the monitoring aspect that you talk about, I think that should be safeguarded. It is one thing to sign a contract and another to implement in accordance to that contract. Let the monitoring and supervision body take note of that. Our people are going there to work, but they are not going there to be slaves. Live for much more to be sex workers. Far from that. The contract they sign, let that contract be implemented to the letter, not anything otherwise. Let there be stringent supervision and monitoring of the contract to be signed. Honorable Minister, the number of candidates to be shortlisted is not indicated, the minimum mentioned. I am not so whether the number to be captured will commensurate with the number of people that attempt to travel through the back way. You should try to endeavor we have adequate number to be shortlisted, not just number, the adequate number that should commensurate the number.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama North. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think it's a very good initiative, and we need to applaud the Minister for coming with some such agreements before the floor of the House. Yeah, Honorable Fonyi Councillor mentioned that at least we should consider every constituency. It's important, but not those constituencies that have taken the loan from the Women Empowerment Fund and refuse to pay it back. If you take those people to Spain, they will abscond, and we need to take care of that. Actually, Honorable Speaker, you know, intention and goals are both powerful tools for guiding our actions and shaping our future. And the intention that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, had when he said that he was ready to make sure that he create job opportunities for Gambians, this is something that is showing it as a reality. So that is why it is always good to have good intention. Where in this agreement have you seen anything like sex workers? I've not seen that here. So if I had some members mentioning that in this agreement, it's a surprise to me. So let us always try to have good intention. The minister and the government of the Gambia have a very good intention to make sure that they provide job opportunities and create job opportunities for our Gambian brothers and sisters. So this is very clear, and there is nothing that is going to stop this honorable House from approving it. I know we are honorable members who are very concerned about our citizens, and we are ready to make sure that we support this. But with reservation, Honorable Minister. In the agreement, I have seen in the last clause that the government of Spain have decided to put a very sensitive clause. I don't know whether you've looked at that. That to say that it is not subjected to any international law. So that means you cannot question it if there is any discrepancies or whatsoever. That thing needs to be looked at because, you know, Gambia is a body that is a country that signed international labor laws. And that law is the body of rules spanning public and private international law which concern the rights and duties of employees and their employers. So it is very important we look at those clauses. I think that is what Honorable Member for Busumbala was trying to raise. But Honorable Members, I think it is a very good initiative. Let us make sure that we applaud the Minister and also the government, and also to those that are going to make sure that this is an opportunity and it is going to be a benchmark for the government of Spain and the government of the Gambia to see whether this will work for others. So therefore, allowing this to go would be an opportunity for others to follow. We always say one rotten potato in a bag will destroy the whole bag. So let us try to make sure that we do the screening in a better way to make sure that it suits the agreement. Because this is a very good initiative. Almost 164 million people are migrating for work, just to look for work and the like. So if we are reducing that number by doing it in a very legal way, I think the government needs to be applauded, especially the government of the day, who have a good intention towards creating job opportunities for our Gambian brothers and sisters. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit. Thank you.
Honorable members, we have exhausted the time. I will invite one more. We have not even fulfilled half of the list. But the time is gone. I tried to adjust the time. I never included the minister. I never tried to include the minister's presentation tabling within the time frame, but still we cannot accommodate. So I think the next one is Fonyi Bondali, would be the last one.
Fair. You are doing it, not following the list.
Honorable, can you withdraw that statement? It's a misstatement, it's not true, and you are just guessing.
Okay, if it's not true, then I'll
Please.
withdraw it. But I think that
You don't make those,
we are not
Honorable,
following it.
you should be so professional that you don't make those type of statements. Please. You said it earlier, I ignored it, and you're coming back. Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would also like to thank the Honorable Minister for tabling this motion. Honorable Speaker, I would also like to thank for the government of the Gambia for coming up with this temporal solution to our problem. And I think the work still lies on our hands, both of us, being the government, private sector, and even honorable members, for us to look at a permanent or a lasting solution to our problem. Like, we are referring to this as our youth going to Spain and work. Our youth to go to Spain and work, but the word youth is very much famous. It's a famous word here in the Gambia, even whereas the 65, 75-year-olds will parade themselves as youths. And the target should be the youths, especially those who normally embark on this backway journey. So I think the selection to these people who are supposed to go should be well guided, because the word used, as I said earlier on, is very common here in the Gambia. The other thing, looking at the solution, most of the youths who are normally embarked in this journey, most of them, have this dream of playing in the top leagues in Europe. So in that regard, I think our government and then the GFA, that's the football body, and then the public, and then even the individual who have the financial muscles to support, for us to make our league a professional league, whereby our youth also, especially those who yearn to be footballers, will also have a hope of making it here. And the other thing is agriculture. In our agricultural sector, normally we have these grants, whereby they'll be issuing grants to the youths and then other things. But normally in their forms, they will ask questions, especially their questions sometimes will go as much as 1,001 questions, asking it to the individuals. So these are the people who might not be able to read or write certain things. So in that regard, I think agriculture also should narrow their questions, to the people, especially those whom, they did not have that high qualification in education requirement, so that they can understand, to make it understandable. Yeah. In that regard, Honorable Speaker, I would also join my colleagues in supporting the government of the Gambia or for the minister tabling this, this motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member Fofoni Bondali. Honorable members, as I said earlier, I think there is nobody special. Banjul Central, Bunugakunda, Banjul South, Janjambure, Banjul North, Kiang West, Iliasa, Jara West, Nyanija, Talindinkunjang, Ol Yundum, Basse, and the Lower Badibu are all listed. Honorable members, thank you very much. I will now invite the mover of the motion to respond to issues raised and to wind up the debate. Honorable Minister, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, members of the National Assembly, for supporting the ratification of this very important instrument. Generally, the comments are similar and they are cross-cutting, so I'll try to be as brief as possible without losing sight of every comment that has been made. And I have taken very seriously and very serious notes of all the issues that have been raised, all the concerns that have been raised, and I thank you very much. I want to begin by saying that my staff and I are equally concerned and committed to the welfare of every Gambian. And that is why the government, under His Excellency's leadership and guidance, we entered into this phase of engaging our friends outside to make migration seamless for our youth, but also make it meaningful and beneficial to the tripartite relation that the honorable member from Woolly East mentioned. My apologies, I beg your pardon. I think you mentioned the issue of remittances and how the government can leverage this. We already know that the government of the Gambia has set up a unit at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and a desk for diaspora affairs. And we know that we have developed a product at the central bank which gives them the opportunity to invest their extra monies in diaspora bonds, which is a specially designed product to attract money from the diaspora to help us as a country access their extra savings in order to invest them in the economy. But the broader benefit of these remittances can also be associated with what is the biggest trigger today for our economy, which is the construction industry. Most of the remittances that are coming to the construction industry, where we recruit carpenters, we recruit masoners, we recruit painters, we recruit plumbers, we recruit electricians, we recruit drivers, those who are dredging sand. All of these cement workers are employed by the industry where the remittances are going to, the bulk of it. So I think it is just a continuation of that. And I dovetail this to the concern about integration. You talked about skills and skills development. It is the policy of the government that we support the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology to expand the skills development base of the education sector. And that's why you can see skill centers being dispersed throughout the country to give youth the opportunity to sharpen their skills in order to participate in these skills. But beyond that, I was in Geneva 2 weeks ago, and I was with the International Trade Center. My purpose for visiting the International Trade Center was around support. You know, the YEP project was supported by them, that they will extend their support in this country to skills development so that we cannot stop the skills from migrating to other countries, but we must have a pool to replenish the skills that we are losing, and that will address your concern about brain drains. So we will deal with that by ensuring that the chain of producing skills is accelerated and maintained so that as we lose nurses, as we lose teachers, we are able to replace them with others that have come out of the training machine. I also would like to say, Honorable Speaker, that for those who will attempt to abscond, the recruitment process will have some safety valves. We will be at our level, because we are the last port of call after the recruitment has been started by the agencies. It comes to the Directorate of Labor, which is under my ministry, but at the end of the day, we have a Department of Employment, which is also providing supervision for that directorate. Within this process, the minister, the permanent secretary, and everyone will be paying attention to how we secure their return. We have the Ministry of Higher Education and MOPSI giving out scholarships, and we have a bonding system through the public service. We will adapt that to suit this situation so that it's not a deterrent from people participating in the scheme, but we encourage them to come. But, Honorable Speaker, what I consider the greatest inducement, the greatest incentive for those participating to return to this country is the fact that after only 4 years in Spain, you have a chance to even have permanent residency. That is unprecedented. This is a very, very attractive thing. If you are going in year 1 For 6 months, 7 months, the contract is over, return to the country as prescribed. If you do that for 4 consecutive years, and mark you, the permit is going to be a 4-year permit. You don't need to apply when you are going for the second tranche or the third or the fourth. So if this works, after 4 years, you can stay in Spain, and if you can stay in Spain, you can move to another European country. So I think this is incentive enough for every Gambian who is involved in this scheme to be ready to come back when you are asked to return. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of international law, we saw the paragraph when the agreement was given to us. My people and I studied it. We looked at, because the International Labour Organization conventions are also being administered by the same people. We know the provisions in those ILO conventions. We know that Spain as a country is part of the European Union, and they are bound by obligations under the European Union. So we know, as a lawyer yourself, we know that this is something that we can cling onto and ensure that justice is delivered to our people if there is any abuse. So we are not concerned that they will be abused and there will be no law. There is international law that is binding on countries, and Spain will be bound by anything that the EU has signed, so we are comfortable with this. Honorable Speaker, to wrap up, I want to say categorically that we are not, as a ministry, using these bilateral agreements as a substitute to our obligation as a government to provide jobs in the country. That is not our strategy. I can say here that we have just finished a study at the ministry on the Trans-Gambia Corridor, Special Economic Zone, and Trade Enhancement Infrastructure. The report is currently public knowledge. That scheme is going to produce in this economy 97,000 jobs. It's clear. It's a bankable project already. 97,000 jobs is more than half of the 150,000 jobs. Already, we have other strategies, entrepreneurship, whether this is about making the business environment a little bit more accessible, making it more responsive, more user-friendly. All these things we are doing is to encourage opportunities. And that's why when we speak, we are talking about employment opportunities. Those opportunities will exist at home. We are not only asking our youth to go out, we are going to give them jobs at home. And that must be registered. This is to respond to a phenomenon that we have no control over. Even if you have jobs that are paying beyond what is happening in Europe, for some people, for the fact that they are going out to Europe and America, they will take any risk. So for those people, we are saying, okay, now you really want to go. And we all believe in either Christianity or Islam, that wherever your meal is cooked, you must go and eat. So they must go. People will migrate. And we always say migration is as old as humanity. So, but let's make it convenient for them to go so that the government of this country is involved in their supervision and monitoring. If you look at the agreement, the Spanish government will be working with us. Our embassy in Spain will be working with us. So we are not isolated in this. We'll all be monitoring them. We'll be monitoring them wherever they are. An honorable member from Brikama North, the same thing goes for the agreements in Saudi and UAE and the ones that we are anticipating. What we are saying is, we'll sign contracts here, but what is being signed when you get to Saudi Arabia is not what you are agreeing with your agencies here. And it's usually, these are at different levels. Nobody will be forced to sign anything they are not in agreement. There is, in fact, in our own laws as a country, you must disclose in your appointment letter of anybody whatever the terms and conditions of employment are going to be. So that's not going to be hidden. Nobody is going to be lured into slavery. This is to emancipate them from slavery, if I can say. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, members, for your comments. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And thank you for ably tabling your motion. And honorable members also, thanks for your participation and effective scrutiny, highlighting a lot of concerns which the honorable minister cleared out. Honorable members, now let me put the question. Be it resolved that this honorable assembly do ratify the Memorandum of Understanding on circular migration between the Kingdom of Spain and the Republic of the Gambia. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Once again, Honorable Minister, thank you very much to your technical team. And honorable members, thank you all. Honorable Minister, we can release you. Clerk, may we proceed?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Section 94 of the Constitution, be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and approve the nomination of Mr. Halifa M. Mbai for appointment as Clerk of the National Assembly, effective 19 December 2024, by the Honorable Majority Leader and Member of the National Assembly Authority.
Sorry, honorable members. I'm trying to clarify some few issues. I will let you know later. Honorable members, I will now invite the Honorable Majority Leader, who is also a member of the authority, to table the motion. Honorable Majority Leader, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this August Assembly do consider and approve the nomination for the appointment of Mr. Khalifa Bai as Clerk of the National Assembly, effective 19 December 2024. Honorable Speaker, this motion is made in accordance with Section 94 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 997 Constitution, and Regulation 12, subclause 1, 2, and 3.
Honorable members, please. Now, please. All right, Honorable, you can continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this August Assembly do consider and approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Khalifa Bai as the Clerk of the National Assembly, effective 19 December 2024. Honorable Speaker, this motion is made in accordance with Section 94 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia and Regulation 12, subclause 1, 2, and 3, and 7 of the National Assembly Service Rule Regulations 2023. Honorable Speaker, due to the statutory retirement of the current clerk, Mr. Momodu A. Sise, by the 19th December 2024, the National Assembly Authority convened and extensively deliberated on the selection of his successor from within the Assembly Service as per Regulation 12.7 of the National Assembly Service Regulation 2023. After careful consideration, the authority profiled all the 3 deputy clerks of the National Assembly, that is, Deputy Clerk for Legislative Business and Programs, Deputy Clerk for Administration and Finance, and Deputy Clerk for Legal and Procedural Matters. Of these 3, Mr. Khalifa Bai, the current Deputy Clerk for Legal and Procedural Matters, emerged as the most suitable candidate and therefore nominated for appointment as the next Clerk of the National Assembly based on merit, which is a fundamental requirement for the promotion and progression within the service. This nomination is now submitted for the consideration and approval of the National Assembly. The position of clerk, as outlined in National Assembly's Service Regulation 2023, requires a minimum of 7 years of experience in senior management and postgraduate degree. Mr. Khalifa Bai has exceeded these requirements, having served in a senior management since 2013, giving him over 11 years of experience with a postgraduate degree in law. Honorable Speaker, it may interest this Assembly to note that Mr. Mbai's dedication, impeccable work ethics, and exceptional performance have distinguished him as the best candidate for the role of a clerk. His consistent ability to manage complex legal and procedural matters with precision, professionalism, and punctuality underscores his readiness for this position. However, over the years, his leadership, attention to detail, and commitment to excellence have earned him widespread respect within the National Assembly. These qualities are essential for a role that demands not just experience, but also the capacity to lead with integrity and efficiency. As Regulation 27, subclause 1 of the National Assembly's Service Regulation and clauses 6.1, of the Human Resource Manual emphasize that promotions must be based on merits. And given Mr. Mbai's extensive experience, academic qualification, and work ethics of the National Assembly Authority is confident that he is the most qualified candidate to assume the post of the Clerk of the National Assembly. His leadership will ensure the continued excellence and integrity of the institution and uphold its values. Honorable Speaker, we therefore, on behalf of the authority, that this Assembly do consider and approve the nomination for appointment of Mr. Khalifa M. Mbai as Clerk of the National Assembly to be effective upon the retirement of Mr. Mamadou A.C.C. on 19th December 2024. Honorable Speaker, I so move.
Honorable members, prior to seconding the motion, Mr. Mamadou Cisse, Clerk of the National Assembly, retires on the 19th of December. And therefore, the next clerk will take office on the 20th. Otherwise, on the 19th, we are going to have two substantive clerks in place. So let's get that corrected in your debates, and then when I'm putting the question for adoption, we will correct it. Honorable majority, note that. Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Majority Leader. Any seconder? Honorable Member for Old.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion and equally want to say a few words with regards to the appointment of Mr. Khalifa M. Mbai as the incoming Clerk of the National Assembly. But first, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the outgoing Clerk, Mr. Mamadou A.C.C., who has served this National Assembly for quite a long time. We all know when we came to Parliament, we worked with him and he has taken this Parliament through. A lot of good, good things have happened during his time as Clerk of the National Assembly. His service and of course his relationship with National Assembly members and staff of the Assembly, we all know is cordial, and we definitely have to thank him for his service and, at least to give him a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member for all. Who's Honorable Member for Old, I think you are very right. For the clerk, outgoing clerk, we will have a special time during the fourth ordinary session that members will pay tribute to him. Let's have that. That's why even in my communication, I just gave a short this thing. He deserves more than that. Yes. But it's good that you also just push it in. But let's not. You can continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, going forward, I also want to congratulate Mr. Khalifa M. Mbai, who is the incoming Clerk of the National Assembly, as nominated by the authority, and this National Assembly is due for confirmation. I want to assure this National Assembly that my 100% support is for Mr. Khalifa Emenbai to become the incoming clerk of this National Assembly for so many reasons. When we came to Parliament in 2017, we found Mr. Khalifa Emenbai as the director for table office. During the time, because of his hard work, he has been promoted to the post of deputy clerk for legal and procedural matters. And during his time in that post too, we have worked with him severally, most of the members, in terms of when you want to bring a prime member bill, and the cordial relationships we have with the guy. We all know he is a professional. He is a professional. His work is not attached to politics. His work is purely professional. You go to Khalifa Emenbai with your issue, he will address it for you without hesitation. He doesn't look at which political party you belong to, who are you, what kind of member you are. His work is purely professional. And that is one of the reasons why I like him. All the time, he is in the service of the National Assembly members. And I know very well, this National Assembly, we will all admit that the boy, let me say, the man is fully qualified to handle the role of a clerk of this National Assembly. We know that very well, because we have seen him handle the role even before his appointment. So we welcome him, and then we congratulate him wholeheartedly. My 100% support for Mr. Khalifa Emenbai. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much.
Honorable Speaker, motion.
Members, I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the nomination of Mr. Khalifa Emenbai for appointment as Clerk of the National Assembly effective 28 December 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Honorable Speaker, motion.
What is this?
Honorable Speaker.
Somebody is crying. Somebody is...
Yes, Councillor.
Yes, Councillor.
Yes, thank you very much. Pardon. I said motion 53K.
I will let you have it.
Sorry? Now I want to explain, yes.
Yes, please, go ahead. Let me hear your explanation first.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, looking at the motion before us, and also with both the statement of the mover and the guy who started the motion, I hereby seek your indulgence for us to proceed in the said recommendation without debate, as you wish. Thank you.
That I have had the motion, I can let you put the motion, and then if you have a seconder, and then you agree, for the liable hamd. Now, can you put the motion?
So I hereby move a motion with no debate.
Honorable, can you rise to your motion?
I hereby rise to move a motion using 53C, a motion to adjourn the debate. Without debate, without debate.
Your motion should be very clear. Honorable member, you are going to move a motion that you consider the motion on the floor without debate.
Yes, that's what I'm seeking here.
All right. Any seconder? Yes, Lower Salu.
Lower Fladu.
Lower Fladu, sorry.
Thank you very much. I rise to second the motion.
All right, honorable members. The motion, as you rightly heard, is that following the tabling of the motion and the secondment, it is being proposed that we adopt the motion without debate and is seconded. Now, I will put the question. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Members, now that we have agreed that the motion not be debated, there may not be any reason to call the mover of the motion to respond to what is. And therefore, it will lead me to move to the substantive question, to put the final question. Honorable members, please, I will put you on record. This time around, I will not mention it. I will just put you on record. Honorable members, be resolved that this Honorable Assembly do approve the nomination of Mr. Khalifa M. Bai for appointment as Clerk of the National Assembly effective 20th December 2024. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I want to thank all of you. The number present for this extraordinary session only indicates your commitment to duty, despite what people may say. Equally, it looks unanimous that the next clerk of the National Assembly has been appointed by everybody. We all look forward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to guide him and all of us so that we can deliver to expectations. I want also to take this opportunity to thank the honorable majority and minority leaders, because when you have a session and there goes to be some form of understanding and unanimity, you must also thank the leadership of the two sides. And I also want to thank the authority and, of course, the outgoing clerk. As the presenter said, the authority did a lot of, looked at every detail necessary to come out with a candidate. So once again, I thank you all. We look forward to the fourth ordinary session sometime later. Honorable members, and let me also once again thank the Honorable Minister for Trade, Regional Integration and Employment. you brought a motion, I am sure, that touches the heart of honorable members. Because you're talking about youth who are their backbone and youth employment, which is key to them. Thank you very much for that innovative move. I also understand that the Honorable Minister for Fisheries, who is also the Honorable Minister responsible for National Assembly Affairs, is here with us. Honorable Minister, you are most welcome and we thank you. Honorable members, I will now put the question. Be resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned, sine die. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.